And this episode is sponsored by American Home Shield. No one likes to think about household breakdowns, but hey, they happen, and way more often than you'd like. That's why it pays to have a plan from American Home Shield to help cover the cost to repair and replace things like your heating system, AC, or your refrigerator. They also know that not two homes are the same. That's why they have new options to help you find just the right coverage. Service fees, limitations, and exclusions apply. See the plan for details. And American Home Shield members get more coverage options and fewer exclusions. From HVAC systems and plumbing to kitchen appliances, their plans help protect parts of up to 23 essential home systems and appliances. And one of the things I like most is that coverage is available no matter how old your system or appliances are. So keep your home up and running and your budget on track with American Home Shield. Right now, my viewers can take $50 off their most comprehensive plans ever. Click the link below or go to ahs.com/MrMakeItHappen now to save $50. That's ahs.com/MrMakeItHappen for $50 off any plan. Service fees, limitations, and exclusions apply. See plan for detail. American Home Shield. Be sure with the shield. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Now, I know you're tired of making the same old stuff every week, and that's why you're looking for something new to make. So today, I'm going to show you how to make these delicious braised lamb shanks. But before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right, guys, meet me in the kitchen. Let's make it happen. First things first, we're going to get our prep work done and out of the way. That way, things flow a little bit more smoothly for us in the kitchen. We're going to go ahead and prep our mirepoix, which is a combination of onions, celery, carrots. We got some fresh herbs as well. Real simple prep work today, guys. We're just going to go ahead and chop up the onion. You don't have to chop it up too fine because it's going in the pressure cooker. It's going to cook down quite a bit, and then we're going to end up blending it into our sauce anyway. Same thing for the carrots, the celery, all that good stuff. Just chop it into bite-sized pieces. There's really no right or wrong way to do this, especially since we're using the pressure cooker. All of this stuff's going to cook down quite a bit anyway. I'm using the Instapot, but use whatever you got. You could also do this recipe in a Dutch oven, but today we're keeping it nice and simple, and you guys have been asking for more Instapot recipes, so here we are. If you've never had braised lamb shanks, think of them the same way you would like a short rib. They cook very similar, and if you like lamb in general, you'll absolutely love these lamb shanks because they're so tender and flavorful. All right, so now we're gonna crush up some garlic. We're gonna add that to the party as well because garlic is delicious. You can add as much or as little as you like, depending on how present you want the garlic flavor to be. And these, my friends, are lamb shanks. You can find them at most grocery stores. I got these from Wegmans. You can wash them off a little bit, make sure there's no bone or cartilage or anything that could damage your teeth. And now we're gonna salt them heavily. This technique is called salt brining. So basically what we're doing is adding a lot of salt to the meat. The salt is gonna draw out moisture from the meat, and then it's gonna reabsorb that moisture, taking the salt with it, and that's how you get flavor all the way down to the bone. You can do this about 24 hours in advance, but really you need at least 2 to 3 hours to get the maximum benefit of this technique. And I like to use flaky kosher salt for this, but use whatever you got. Some sea salt will work well as well. There we go. We're gonna set those aside, pop them in the fridge for at least 2 to 3 hours. Afterwards, we're gonna go ahead and sear them off. This is very important. Never skip the sear anytime you're braising something. The sear adds flavor, texture, and color, and just makes an overall better meal for you. So get your skillet nice and hot. Add some avocado oil, which has a very high smoke point. That way it's not gonna burn on us. And then we're gonna sear these lamb shanks until they get to a nice golden brown color like you see right here. We're gonna add plenty more seasoning later, guys. We're using the salt only for now because all the other seasonings will burn up in this high heat skillet, and we don't want that to happen. So once our lamb shanks are seared to perfection, like you see right here, we're gonna go ahead and remove them and then go those veggies into the same skillet to absorb all that flavor from the lamb shanks. And now, my friends, we're gonna hit them with a little seasoning. I'm going in with some all-purpose seasoning, basically a blend of salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder, and a few other spices. If you haven't tried my all-purpose seasoning, the link's available for you in the description box. Next, we're going in with 1 tablespoon of Better Than Bouillon veggie base and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. That's gonna add some concentrated tomato flavor and some concentrated veggie flavor, which is really nice. You can use whatever Better Than Bouillon product you like, but veggie worked for me on this recipe. We're gonna incorporate that into the veggies over medium heat, let that saute and soften up a little bit. And then we're going in with some red wine, about 2 cups of dry red wine, something like a Cabernet will get the job done. Quick reminder, guys, that all the specific measurements and ingredients for this recipe can be found in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out. We're also going in with some chicken stock or veggie stock. If you're opposed to using wine during the cooking, you can skip the wine and just use chicken or veggie stock in place of it. It'll still get the job done. We're gonna bring that to a boil and allow that alcohol to cook out of the wine a little bit and reduce. And then we're gonna fire up the Instapot. We're gonna add those lamb shakes to the Instapot. And we're gonna pressure cook these for about 45 to 50 minutes until they fall off the bone tender. We're gonna add all of that braising liquid to the pot. This is gonna be absolutely delicious, guys. You guys have got to give this one a try. You can do the same recipe with short ribs as well. We're gonna add our herbs and aromatics. We got rosemary, thyme, and bay leaves. Lock in that top on the Instapot, set the timer for 50 minutes, and let the Instapot do its job. You can go hang out, cook something else, make your sides, whatever you plan to serve this up. This goes really well with mashed potatoes, or if you're on a diet, you can go with a little cauliflower mash to keep it keto. As you can see, this bad boy is fork tender all the way through. Absolutely beautiful meat there. Look at that, my friends. One step that I do like to do here, a little pro tip for you, is to add these to a baking sheet and pop them in a 400-degree oven. That way some more color develops. To me, that's the only downside of a pressure cooker is you lose a little bit of that color from the sear. But have no fear, we're gonna pop that in the oven and they're gonna be beautiful. Meanwhile, we're gonna make us a nice sauce. So we're gonna go ahead and strain all of that juice from the Instapot into a saucepan like you see right here. Use a wire mesh strainer like this one. That way you don't get anything in there that you don't want. You know we need our sauce smoothed in a 3-day weekend. There we go, nice and easy. We're gonna use what's called a slurry to thicken this up a little bit, which is basically a blend of cold water and cornstarch. Again, guys, all the specific measurements and ingredients for this recipe are listed for you in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out. Let me know in the comments what other Instapot recipes you wanna see. This is one of my favorites. We got oxtail on the way. You guys have been asking for that a whole lot. I promise that's on the way. We're gonna bring our sauce to a boil, like you see right here, and then we're gonna go ahead and add in that slurry. Give that a whisk to make sure that there's no lumps in your sauce. And then once it starts to thicken up, you're good to go. Just make sure you taste as you go and adjust the flavor to your preference. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some salt and some seasoning to get the sauce right where I want it. After I add the salt, I'm also going in with a few dashes of Worst Word in the World sauce and some fresh cracked black pepper. Bring that to a simmer again. Break out the whisk and mix to combine, and that, my friends, is a silky smooth and delicious sauce that we're gonna pour right on top of these fantastic lamb shanks that are coming right out of the oven. Look at that deep dark color, tons of flavor locked in there, still fork tender. And that, my friends, is how you cook a lamb shank. Now it's time to plate this up. We're going down with some mashed potatoes, because why the hell not? I'm gonna plate this up with 1 lamb shank per person is a good serving size. Here comes the sauce. Oh man, brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys. Looking good. Going down with some fresh chopped parsley for a pop of color, and your boy needs a fork so he can dive in there for a taste test. It is just about time for the moment of truth. I'm gonna show you guys just how tender this lamb shank is. Oh my goodness, a little slow-mo action. Just falling right off the bone, absolutely fork tender and delicious. Going in for the taste test. I think we got a fork drop recipe on our hands. Let me know what you think in the comments. That's my recipe for braised lamb shanks. Make sure you give your boy a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the bell to enable notifications. And as always, thank you for your support.